Hello everybody, this is Solartiger with another solar power video. Today is the 19th of April and this is a follow-up video to the last video in which I showed you this battery that I bought. So this is the Capacity Li 12 volt high capacity LiFo 4 battery. It is 12.8 volts, 25 amp hours, and the model is DC1225 Pro. And this is a lithium iron phosphate battery pack. And as I said in the last video, I bought this on eBay for just £7 used. And if we come to the computer, here is the eBay listing where I won it, and you can see that I paid £7 and a penny for it. So and as you know, as I said in previous videos, I spend a lot of time on eBay looking through the listings, looking for anything interesting and a bargain. And if I find anything, I will probably buy it and make a video on it. So this is a follow-up video to the last video where I did a kind of review of this and I showed you the inside and etc. etc. Well, since the last video I've done some testing on it and I've gained some experience, and I will tell you about what I found. So this is the battery pack. Here's the eBay listing. As you can see, if I scroll down, the description says, introducing the high capacity 12 volt battery from a well-known brand in the industry. The battery is perfect for those looking for a reliable power source for the electronic devices and equipment with a long-lasting lifespan. This rechargeable battery is compatible with a variety of devices, including those in the sound and vision category. The battery is specifically designed to meet the needs of those in need of a powerful source of energy for their devices. It belongs to the multi-purpose batteries and power category and is made using high-quality materials to ensure longevity and durability. Whether you need it for your work or for leisure activities, this battery is sure to meet your power needs. And that's what the description said. I guess they've taken this from a listing on Amazon or AliExpress or wherever, because I bought this from a private seller. If I go to here, this is a Amazon listing for a similar looking device. As I've said in the last video, there are various similar looking devices sold under all different brand names, but I guess these are made in China, they're generic, they put different labels on, and from what I found, they put different batteries inside as well. Because, as I said in the last video, if I click on here, for example, when I looked inside mine, it did not have these type of cells in it. Mine has cylindrical cells inside. So if I click on a different page, my unit contains these type of cells, and by looking at the internals of my unit, I've worked out that mine contains 32700 LiFo 4 cells, and these typically have a rating of 3.2 volts at around 6 amp hours. So that's what's inside my unit, and that means that this number turned out not to be correct, but I'll go into that in more details. So this is what we got. So in order to test the capacity of this unit, I use some equipment. I use this watt meter, so DC watt meter, and on the input I have these ring terminals that I put onto these binding posts. On the output there's a socket, and I plugged in a 60 watt load to the output, and I hooked it up to the battery, and after I fully charged the battery, and then I hooked up my equipment and the 60 watt load, and from a fully charged battery at 14.6 volts, I let the battery sit overnight, and the voltage settled at around 13.5 volts. So I connected my setup and I let it run until the battery went down to 11 volts, and I recorded the number of amp hours drawn and the number of watt hours drawn, and I will tell you the results. So that's how I got to my results. So I started the test with the voltage at 13.5 volts, and I connected my 60 watt load that was drawing 4.6 amps, and I let it run until the battery voltage showed 11 volts on this display. It's upside down at the moment, but until the voltage dropped to 11 volts. So I ran my test, and after 4.5 hours the voltage dropped to 11 volts, and the meter said that we had consumed 17.57 amp hours, which was 223 watt hours. Now, if I multiply 12.8 times 25 to give a number in watt hours, then this would have a rating of 320 watt hours, and that's the official rating, and I got 223 watt hours when I discharged it down to 11 volts. So what this means is that the battery, if I turn it round, I've written the numbers on the back, so this is what it actually means. So on a full discharge down to 11 volts, we got 17.57 amp hours. I simply rounded it up here to 18 amp hours, and that was 223 watt hours that I got out of this battery. So that means that this battery has a capacity of about 70% of what it says on the label. So it's got 70% of the rated capacity. So for this battery that's rated for 25 amp hours, I managed to get 18 usable amp hours out of it. So I'm still happy with that, since I only paid £7 UK for it, albeit it was second hand, but I'm happy with that. So what I'm thinking here is that this is kind of a generic or reference design, and if I click back on the computer, so this is one make of it. So this one's marketed as a QM Repow and has the same model number, same case, same layout, and this one has prismatic cells in that may well have 25 amp hours of capacity, but as we can see that this enclosure is used for different models. Some are lithium ion, some are lithium iron phosphate, and they stick different cells inside it. So some models have prismatic cells in, some have the cylindrical cells in, some have lithium ion cells in. So they do different capacities. Some have 20 amp hours, some are 25, some have 30 amp hours. They do all sorts of different ones, and you could end up with just about anything. So that's what we have. So this is the capacity lie, and the label says 25 amp hours. Mine has these 32700 cylindrical cells in, and most of these have a rating of 6 amp hours. So that's what's inside mine. It's a 3S 4P 3S. Yeah, no, it's a 4S 3P rather. So 4S makes the 12.8 volts. 3.2 times 4 is the 12.8, and the 3P gives you 3 times 6 amp hours, which gives me the measured 18 amp hours. So with these cylindrical cells, you're not going to have 25 amp hours of capacity. That's just not happening. So that's what I've got. So as I said, you can use this unit for different things. You can run some lights, you can charge your phone. I could charge that power bank. I could charge this cordless fan. I could run all different things with this. And actually, to run this, to test the capacity, I hooked this up to a 12 volt heated vest of the type that you would use on a motorcycle, and it managed to run that for 4 hours, 4.25 hours. So you could run heated clothing on a bicycle, or say, or anything, any other thing, or you could take it out when you went fishing, when you went camping, when you a trip to the park or to the beach or to wherever you needed some portable power. So that's that. So it had a measured capacity of 18 amp hours. So, and the brand says capacity lie, and in this case the lie, you could say, other than standing for lithium, was the amp hour rating. That was a lie too, but we got 18 amp hours out of it, which I'm quite happy with for the price I paid. So what else can we say? Oh yes, in the last video I complained about the charger, so I bought another charger, like I said I would. I apologise for the creaking, it's the chair I'm sitting on. I did apologise in the last video. So I bought another charger. This charger here, I bought it from eBay for about £30. The listing said I was buying a 3 amp charger. So when I got it, I seem to have a 5 amp charger. I'm not complaining about that, but that's what we have. Unlike the last charger, this one has a CE rating on it and a 3-pin fused plug. This is the barrel jack that you plug into the charging jack. So this charger puts out 14.6 volts at 5 amps. On the other side, there's a charging LED, red for charging, green when charged. When I did my test, I ran this down to 11 volts, which means it was flat. I charged it with this charger. Because it was flat and I plugged the charger in, the charger did get hot after an hour or so. It got like hand hot. And what I did was that it was pretty hot, so I unplugged it and let it cool down, and then I plugged it in again and finished charging the battery. It did get pretty hot and I wasn't keen on that, so I unplugged it, I let it cool down, and I plugged it in again to finish off the charge, and it charged fine. So this is a follow-up about the Capacity Li DC1225 Pro. So that's what we have. So on the whole, I'm pretty happy with it. What else can I say? If I turn it around, I've made a new label on the back that's a bit more truthful about its capacity. So, right, what we'll say about the battery status gauge thing is this. It seems to strobe a bit in the camera, which it doesn't in real life. When I ran this down to 11 volts, I expected all the green sections to go out and I'd be just left with the red ones. But what I found was when it went down to 11 volts, in actual fact, just the 2 end sections went out. So I was still left with, I'll try and do this. So if I block out the last 2 sections, at 11 volts, it was still showing 4 green lights and was down to 11 volts. So I'm not sure about how this gauge actually works and for what kind of batteries it's actually designed for, but at 11 volts I still had 4 green sections left. So if you're using this as a charge level indicator, just stick to the voltage. So when this gets down to 11 volts, your battery is very flat. So I would say that in normal use, don't discharge it down to 11 volts. I would basically say you use it, and then I would say give it a top-up charge. You use it, and then you just top up the charge and don't really discharge it. So I wouldn't normally go down to 11 volts. It was just I was doing a capacity test on it, and that's how I discovered that the bar graph thing doesn't work the way I expected it to. So if you left it till you got down to the red section, I'd probably say that the BMS would have cut out by then. So I would just go with the voltage. So use it some and then recharge it. I would really want to charge this up with solar, and to do that I would use a solar charge controller with a lithium iron phosphate option, or one that had a user setting where you could set up the battery settings to whatever you want. So this is Solartiger with an update on this battery. If I turn it back round again, a lot of electrical things that you buy that are of Chinese origin, a lot of the capacity figures are let's say on the generous side, and quite often you'll find that your capacity will be less than what it says on the label. They tend to inflate the figures to increase sales. That's what I've generally found. So I saw one video on YouTube about a similar unit, and his, I think, actually had the prismatic cells in, and he managed to get 25 amp hours out of his. So your mileage may vary depending on what cells they put in your unit. So in my unit it has the 32700 cells that are around 6 amp hours, and my unit had an actual capacity of about 18 amp hours. So that's what I'm going to say. So this is Solartiger saying thank you for watching. If you like what you see, please click like and subscribe to my channel. I would like to gain more subscribers, because that's what I would like. So if you have a comment and it's a sensible one, then feel free to leave it down below. As I always say, if you want to leave a sarcastic type comment, I will simply ignore it. And this is Solartiger saying thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye and thank you for watching. Thank you.